Hello and welcome back to Budget Bargains and Bullshit. I'm Gemma and today we're doing a debt update. So you can probably tell by my tone of voice that it's not the best. I can't remember exactly where I was at on my last update, but I do know that I've added approximately £1,000 to my debt, which is not ideal at all, and it's really got me down a bit. But I kind of avoided for the past few days like looking into actually where I'm at with my debt. And of course, naturally, I don't want to look at it. I didn't want to see how much I'd put on top of my debt. I didn't want to face the facts, but sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do it, because otherwise you're never gonna deal with it, are you? So yeah, I sat down, got the numbers, and we're going to talk through them today. I set myself a goal in June. I said to myself that in July I would completely clear my Halifax card. I still want to do that. Halifax card is the one that's actually I've spent on, which I shouldn't have. It's the one that's now gone significantly up. There should have been, at the beginning of July, there should have been approximately about £500 to clear off. And now there's a significant amount more than that. So we're going to go into that and look at the plan of action for it. It's hard, and anybody who was watching this who's probably feeling the same, who doesn't want to they just don't want to check the app, they don't want to have a look at the statements, they don't want to see how much debt there is. I understand how you feel, and you know what, just go and do it. Just go and get it wrote down and figure a plan of action, because if you keep avoiding it, it's just going to get worse. So yeah. So my current debt is £4,746.93. Now, when I restarted my journey back in February, my debt was about £6,000. So we're not like, I haven't gone back to the beginning. Oh, sorry, I'm just shaking the camera. But we've still kind of gone backwards. We're not where we should be right now. And that's why I'm going to go through this with you. I've got these cute pens from Tenerife. Definitely didn't need them, but I got them anyway. So I thought we'll use these to go through it. As you know, you might know, you might not if you're new to my channel. But my debt is currently split into three. It's 3 different credit cards. First one being Sainsbury's, second one being MBNA, and the third one being the Halifax. Now, these 2 are my priority at the minute. Halifax is, so we're just going to quickly run through these and tell you what's happening with that. So the Sainsbury's is currently standing at £1,295. Now, I made a payment today of £30. So that's including the £30 I have paid today. I made the decision in my monthly update video that I was just going to make very minimum payments to these 2. Previously, I was paying about £100 a month each. But because I want to get rid of this, I've lowered it down to the minimum, to what, the actual accounts tell me to pay. So the Sainsbury's was something like £27, so I rounded up to 30, so I paid £30 off that. Now, the MBNA currently sits at £1,983.62. Next week, I plan on paying £55, which is, again, the minimum payment for this for the entire month. And so that means at the end of July, it will have a balance of £1,928.62. So they're just getting one payment for the month, and that's it. These both are 0% interest. So that's why I'm not worried about them at all. So yeah, at the end of the July, this one I'll have 1,928.62, and this one will be the same because like I said, I've made the payment today in week 1 of July. So that's 1,295. So that brings us down to this one. Like I said, we should have only had about £500 to pay. I went on holiday to Tenerife last week and just completely underestimated how much we'd spend. I took about €700 with me, and yeah, it just wasn't enough because the thing is, we didn't go all inclusive. And I think if we'd have gone all inclusive, we probably wouldn't have spent as much as we did. But anyway, we didn't, and it's meant that we've added approximately £1,000 to the debt. So this is including, so it currently stands at, £1,468.31. I made £100 payment already, so that's including that, deducted off. It's really sad to see that because I was so close to clearing it. So bloody close. But lesson learnt, we move on, and we've got no holidays now. We've got a week off in November, but we don't plan on going away. The next one will be June next year, I would imagine. And that gives me a year to do better, to save up, to do it properly. This was a very last minute holiday, and yeah, a mistake in a way, but partial mistake. Anyway, so the plan of action to get rid of this, POA, plan of action. I decided in my monthly video, let me just check that's still recording. I decided in my monthly video that my Halifax card was going to get £100 a week. So it's already had £100. There's 3 more weeks left in July, meaning that there's £300 already planned to be put towards this debt. That's there. So that will leave us with £1,168.31. Now, part of the problem of why we incurred so much extra debt this month is because TUI cancelled our flight home. So we was coming home on Tuesday the 28th. We got to the airport and they told us that it was cancelled and that they were going to try and get a flight out the next day. I sort of had a panic attack in the airport. I just burst into tears. I just couldn't I don't know. I suppose I got scared, and it sounds so daft because, you know, it's not a big deal. We could have stayed the night. They were going to give us a hotel for the night, but I just really wanted to get home. And I don't know why I'm getting welled up about it now. The woman actually said to us, the TUI rep, her words to us was, there's no guarantee the flight will leave tomorrow. I didn't want to be stranded in Tenerife. You know, anything can happen. More so now, we're in a world where literally overnight something can go bust. You know, a company can go bust, and that was the scary part for me. The thought that TUI's had so many problems recently. What about if they go bust overnight and we're stranded in Tenerife, and then everybody's fighting to get home, and we, you know, what do we do? What do we do? So my husband went up to Jet2 desk, got us some flights, cost us about 466 euros, something like that. Because we wanted to get home that day, quite frankly. Yeah, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it one bit. But because of that, because of the cancellation, it means that TUI owes money, basically. It's their like terms and conditions, and online it states you get £350 per person. So that's £700 that we are essentially owed by TUI because they cancelled the flight. They cancelled it last second. They knew, right? This is the annoying part. Yeah, that flight was meant to leave Manchester Airport at 7:20 in the morning, because that's the exact flight that we got the week prior. They knew at 7:20 that that flight was not leaving, because everybody that was due to fly out from Manchester to Tenerife, they knew about it at 7:20. If they'd have phoned us, if they'd have texted, if they'd have told us at 7:20 that the flight wasn't going to happen and that we were going to go to another hotel and whatever, spend the night, we could have got a taxi to the airport and got on an earlier flight, which was cheaper, and we could have got home without all the faff that we had. We had to sit in the airport for hours waiting for the Jet2 plane, obviously because it wasn't due to leave till like 5:30 or 4:30, I can't remember which one. And we was in the airport from like 10 o'clock. So yeah, like I just don't get why they didn't tell us. If we was up from like 6 o'clock that morning because we didn't want to overlay, and we had to like pack his bags and stuff like that and get out of the apartment and get our deposit back, and be ready to be picked up for like 10 o'clock. So we was up early. So if they'd have said it's 7:20, the flight's not going ahead, this is what's happening, we could have said, all right, okay, we'll just get a taxi to the airport and we'll get on a different flight home. But no, they left it till last second, and I was just so annoyed about it. So yeah, that's what we're owed. I don't know how long it takes to get. I am really hoping, fingers crossed, crossing everything, that it comes through this month so that I can pay it towards my Halifax. I also think that's somebody said in the airport, and the TUI rep was there, and she didn't like, what's the word? She didn't disagree with him, but the guy said that if they book flights with Jet2, not only do they get this 700, but they also get the refund on the flights that they've had to book. Because it wasn't just us, there was another couple and another family that also wanted to get home and booked on the Jet2 flight. And he'd looked into it, whatever, and seen that you can get a refund for the flight with whatever airline you went with, and also the £700. So I'm just taking the £700 because I don't think that they're going to refund for the flight, because they offered for us to stay in a hotel. The other reason why we wouldn't be able to stay in a hotel for the night is because my husband had an appointment at 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So we needed to get home Tuesday. Like, we weren't going to miss that appointment. We've waited for it for way too long. We just weren't going to miss it. So yeah, again, another reason why. I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if he'd have missed it. But we would rather not miss it. Anyway, completely gone off. But yeah, hopefully I've submitted the request. I've raised whatever you have to raise with TUI. They're supposedly meant to get back to you within 24 hours. I don't think that's going to be possible. And then hopefully, it said something about sending a check through the post. They've also got my email address. you know, all they got to do is let me know, and I'll be able to hopefully put that money towards this debt. If for some whatever reason it doesn't come through, then of course I've got to figure out a plan B, but that's what I'm hoping on at the minute. So that will then leave £468.31 remaining, which brings us down to basically what we where we should have been at in the first place. So with this, then this money will have to come from side hustles, it will have to come from overtime, it will have to just be being strict, stringy, and not spending willy-nilly, and just prioritizing every last penny to the Halifax. For example, when I do my weekly budget, so let's have a look at week 2, for example. I budget £370 as income each week. I know full well that in week 2, I'm going to be getting approximately 400 and I think it's like 410, 420 pounds. I also know that approximately in week 2, my husband's going to be getting 700 to 800 pounds, because it's our holiday pay. And when we're on holiday, my husband gets paid astronomically more, because it's worked out on an average of your previous hours, because he's always done overtime all the time. When he does his holiday pay, he gets about like 500 to 600. And then he's also worked extra during his holiday. I know, don't even get me started. Why on earth you'd want to go to work on your holiday, I don't know. But yeah, he's worked 2 of the days when he was supposed to be on his like holiday, annual leave, whatever you want to call it. And it's a fixed rate of £180 for both days, for each day, sorry. So there's £360 there, but obviously you've got to think about tax as well. So we're looking at about 700 to 800 for his wage and about 410 for my wage. So that extra money, that surplus money that we haven't needed because we've already budgeted with what we've got here, that money can go towards paying off the Halifax, because like I said, this is my sole priority right now. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. I'll do another update at the end of July to see whether or not we actually manage this. I will also can't speak, keep you updated over on my Instagram. So if this money, you know, if I do get a check, if I do get an email or whatever, I will update on my Instagram, and also in my weekly videos, in my weekly budgeting and weekly cash stuffing videos, I will update whether or not this has come through, but it will get paid straight onto Halifax. So yeah, that's that. And I think that's everything. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get this done. And then August, we can focus back to these and start paying good chunks off these ones as well. So I hope that wasn't too boring. And hopefully we can keep motivated. I am going to be doing a lot more other type of side hustles again. At a poll I haven't really been doing recently, so we're going to get back on with that. If you've got any other suggestions, let me know, and I will see you hopefully when I've paid off my Halifax. Bye.